Welcome, high school baseball fans, to FSPN's coverage of South Florida high school baseball. Today we're coming to you from Henderson, Nevada, where the visiting team today, the Mater Academy Lions, that are led by their head coach Humberto Bencomo, are going up against the Basic Academy Wolves, and they're led by their head coach Gino De Maria. And we should have a good one for you today. On the mound for the Wolves is the left-handed sophomore Adrian Ramos, and he'll be facing the strikeout king, Alfred Rosario, and we should have a good one for you today from Henderson, Nevada. We'll be right back with the starting lineup and the defense right after the national anthem. Welcome, high school baseball fans, to FSPN's coverage of high school baseball, and we're in Henderson, Nevada, in a game between the Basic Academy Wolves and the visiting team, the Mater Academy Lions, and we're already underway here in the top of the first inning, where Iker Noguera has stepped in. Let's bring up the scoreboard and get underway. Top of the first inning, there's no score. The lefty on the mound for the Wolves is Adrian Ramos. I'll go over the defense and the starting lineup in just a minute. Count is 1-2, and that evens the count at 2-2. In a beautiful backdrop here, you have some mountains. And finally, we see some grass after a couple days of just flying over, dirt and sand. Noguera from the right-hand side today. He's a switch hitter. He takes that one up high to fill up the count. The Mater Lions are going to face three teams from Nevada. And you can see all three games right here in FSPN. Tomorrow we'll be at the Meadows School, and Thursday we play Faith Lutheran. Here's the payoff pitch, and that might as well be a double, because every time Noguera gets walked, he ends up on second base. I don't know why they even bother. They just let him walk right to second from home plate. Battery is Adrian Ramos on the mound. Darren Guzman is behind the plate. Gabe Hidong is playing first base today. Lyndon Lee is in second base. Tate Southerson is the shortstop. Matthew Kelly's playing third base, and we'll go over the outfield in just a second. It's going to be hard for Noguera today against the lefty, and that's a hard hit ball to the shortstop. It looks like two. Lee picks it up, fires it over to Hiram for a double play. So a 6-4-3 double play for the Wolves, and they're not being nice hosts. I mean, just double play in the first inning. All right, that's going to bring up the Florida State commit, third baseman, big dog, Yodelkis Quevedo, and he'll face Ramos. The outfield is Ace Sapp in left field. Andrew Giles is a center fielder, and Dallin Segowski's in right field for the Wolves. First pitch looked like a changeup, a swing and a miss. Yodelkis almost swung out of his shoes on that one. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. And there's one hit to the second baseman. Lee picks that up easily, flips over to Hidong, and just like that, the Mater Academy Lions get 3 up, 3 down, nothing across the board. We head to the bottom of the first inning, no score, with the home team, the Wolves, coming up to bat. You're watching FSPN, everybody. All right, welcome to Henderson, Nevada, where we have a high school baseball game between the home team, the Basic Academy Wolves, and the visiting team, the Mater Academy Lions. And in the box, swinging at the first pitch and not allowing me to set up, again, another DJ. And it's not a Florida thing, guys. It's a Nevada thing as well. The DJs like to wait till both feet are in the box. And then I can't even introduce Mr. Matthew Kelly, who swung at the first pitch and hit it foul off of the starter, Alfred Rosario. And now quickly 2 strikes to the leadoff batter. He'll be followed by the shortstop, Tate Southenstein. Then it'll be Andrew Giles and Lyndon Lee, if anybody gets on, to face the strikeout king, Alfred Rosario. And if I'm talking fast, it's because the DJs don't give me any time to properly set this up. And that one's hit high and very high to right field, where Brian Fernandez is camped out. He's got a campfire, marshmallows and everything. And that's the first out of the inning. So Uncle Muggs and the DJ problems continue. Doesn't matter where we are. I guess it's all about the music and not about the baseball. But I can tell you the batter's Tate Southenstein. He is a senior shortstop for these Wolves. And there's 1 out in the bottom of the first inning, and it's a scoreless game from beautiful Henderson, Nevada. Fastball taken up high to even the count. To go 2-0. And with 1 out, I'll try to go over the defense for the visiting Lions. I can tell you the batteries, Andy Castillo and Alfred Rosario's on the mound. And there's one hit high. I mean, boy, the ball goes high here. And he finally makes the out to the left-handed batting center fielder, Andrew Giles. He'll be followed by Lyndon Lee, the second baseman. And hopefully we'll get a foul ball here so I can go over the defense for the Mater Academy Lions. And there's a strike down the middle. I can tell you Arrieta's at first base. Noguera's right next to him at second. Brandon Lorenzo's at shortstop, and Yodelkis Quevedo is the third baseman. Giles calls time, and it's given to him by the home plate umpire. The outfield is Esponda in left field, La Rosa's in center field, and Brian Fernandez is in right field. Rosario takes his time, finally gets his sign from Castillo. And there's one that looked like it was right over the plate. But I got a tough angle where I'm at, folks. I'm a little bit off to the left. So everything looks like a strike from here. The count goes 3-1. Nobody on. 2 outs, bottom of the first in a scoreless game. Swing and a miss, and that'll go full. Rosario has 37 strikeouts in 23 innings, boasting a 1.83 ERA. Let's quickly go through the starting lineup now that we have a chance. Matthew Kelly flied out to right field. He was followed by Tate Southenstein, who flew out to center field. This is Andrew Giles at the plate, and he'll be followed by Lyndon Lee. Then it's Gabe Hirong. The sixth batter is Dallin Savagaski. Dylan Lee's the DH. Ace Sapp is in left field. He's the eighth batter. And there's a walk to Giles with 2 outs. And Darren Guzman is the last batter. All right, Lyndon Lee steps in. He's a second baseman. He's a junior with a runner on first base and 2 outs. And he'll be facing Alfred Rosario. Bottom of the second, scoreless game. Rosario starts him off with something that's not a strike, but sure looked like one. Rosario from the stretch. That one's a little bit high. The Lions are wearing their hunter green shirts with the white letters and their away gray pants with the green accent coming down the left side. And the home Wolves are wearing the white pants with the decorative blue and white shirts. Very sporty, very stylish. Both teams have a very nice baseball look. There's a big swing and a miss by Lee. The count goes to 2-1. Arrieta's holding Giles on at first base. 2 outs at a beautiful ballpark. Gorgeous backdrop. Very well manicured field. The 2-1 is taken inside for a strike called. That'll even the count at 2-2 to the right-handed hitting junior, the second baseman, Lyndon Lee. Gabe Hirong is on deck. He's the first baseman. There goes Lee, and he's got the sliding mitt on. A throw from the knees to Castillo, and it's not going to be in time. Runner's going to be in scoring position with 2 outs, and the count full now to Lyndon Lee. Giles steals a base. And I've never been a big fan of throwing from your knees. I don't know how much you can get on the ball. There's a good look at Rosario and Noguera holding him on. Bottom of the first, scoreless game, runner on second. There's one low and away, back-to-back walks. So after 2 quick outs, back-to-back walks from Rosario, and that brings up the first baseman, the junior Gabe Hirong, and he takes that one for a strike. Not sure what the pitch count is, but we're close to 20 in this half inning for Rosario. Takes a peek at Giles on second base, and there's a fastball just a little bit high, evens the count at 1-1. Dallin Zagavsky's on deck, and he'll be followed by Dylan Lee, the DH. But right here, it's a 1-1 count to Gabe Hiron, the first baseman. Long look at the runner on second. That off-speed pitch stays high. Giles is on second. Lee's on first. There's 2 outs in a scoreless game. Bottom of the first inning. From Wolf Field, Henderson, Nevada. And it's warm, folks. Nice block by Castillo. There's another throw from the knees with nothing on it. And we thought we were going to come here and enjoy a nice spring day. It's just as hot as it is in Florida. Just not as humid. And more coyotes. Here's the 3-1, foul back, and the count will go full to the first baseman. Rosario comes set, takes a look at Giles on second base. Runners are going, and there's a strikeout. The Wolves are going to leave 2. They get none. We're going to head to the top of the second in a scoreless game from Henderson, Nevada. And you're watching FSPN and listening to Uncle Muggs. Welcome back, high school baseball fans. We have a good one here from Henderson, Nevada. The Basic Wolves, they're the home team. They're taking on the Matter Academy Lions. They're the visiting teams, and we have a scoreless game. Top of the second inning. The lefty on the mound is Adrian Ramos, and that's a strike swinging to the first baseman for the Matter Academy Lions. That is Brian Arrieta, and he'll be followed by Alfred Rosario. Then it's Heldy La Rosa, and that's a nice changeup from the lefty. Boy, that floated in there. And it just froze Arrieta quickly. 2 strikes to the big first baseman. Lefty on lefty. And there's one slap. Boy, that's a good piece of hitting. Way to stay back on that, hands back, and just went the other way with it. And that's why he is second in the county in RBIs, even though nobody on base there. But a base hit to lead off the top of the second, and it's going to bring up the pitcher trying to help his own cause, Alfred Rosario. Let's see if head coach Bencomo reaches into his strategy toolbox here and maybe puts the runner in motion. Although Arrieta is not known to be the speedster out there. He's more like a diesel 4x4, off-road vehicle. First pitch taking low from Rosario. And there's a peek at first base at Brian Arrieta and his counterpart Gabe Hiron. Nobody out, top of the second, scoreless game from Henderson, Nevada. There's a strike called. The Lions went down in order the previous inning against this crafty lefty, Adrian Ramos. A little help from his best friend, a double play. And now he squares the button. He bunts one to the right side of the mound. Ramos picks it up, spins, and he goes over to first base. The runner will advance. They're going to give up an out for a runner on second base. Now the Lions have someone in scoring position. The right fielder, Heldy La Rosa, actually he's playing left field today. Scratch that. He's in center field. He can play any 3 positions and not tell me. So with a runner on second base, Ramos' first pitch is fouled off. And that one heads over to like the science wing. Be a great time here to get back on track. Good take there on another changeup. Where Ramos has good command of those off-speed pitches. Hides the ball well. Has nice mechanics. And Guzman does a great job of framing behind the plate. Ramos comes set. Takes a peek at Arrieta. And another big swing foul back. Now here's where La Rosa's got to choke down a little bit. Compact swing, just try to put something in play here and forget about the exit velo and the launch angle and all that other stuff. And just get a little base hit, Bucky Dent style. Half of you guys don't know who Bucky Dent is. The count goes even at 2-2. to Haley La Rosa. Brian Fernandez is on deck, and the big lefty's looking to break out of his slump. There's a good look at Ramos. And that one's a little bit outside. The umpire's been consistent with that pitch. And that'll fill up the count with 1 out, top of the second inning in a scoreless game from Henderson, Nevada. You're watching FSPN, listening to Uncle Muggs. We're bringing you the best. Nobody else covers high school baseball like we do. We're in Nevada, folks. Here's the payoff pitch, and that one's high and away. So with 1 out, the Lions are going to have runners on first and second base for the big lefty, Brian Fernandez. Beautiful ballpark. We'll go over the dimensions. It looks like 325 down the right field line, 380 in the power alleys, maybe about 400 a straightaway center, and a gorgeous ballpark. We need something like this in Florida. Your double play combination is Lyndon Lee and Tate Southasine. They turned 1 already. Ramos wouldn't mind another one right here. And a nice stop, good block back there by Darren Guzman. And we're going to take a quick break as here comes a pitching coach from the Wolves. He's going to have a chat with Ramos and his catcher, and we'll be right back right after this. This broadcast has been brought to you by Florida State Tentless Termite Treatments. Avoid putting that tarp all over your house and call these guys. Get on their treatment program, 305-669-9292. We'll be right back right after. Welcome back to the top of the second inning in a scoreless game. Lions have runners on second and first base for Brian Fernandez that takes the second pitch for a strike to even the count at 1-1. He's facing Adrian Ramos, the crafty lefty sophomore for these Basic Academy Wolves. La Rosa walked. Brian Herrera led off the inning with a base hit. He was sacrificed over by Rosario, and there's an easy take when the ball almost hits you in the face or in the chest. 2 balls and 1 strike to the lefty who needs a base hit right here just to build up his confidence, just to get out of that slump he's been in. And we know he's a lot better than what his average and what his stats look like. Calls time and he gets it. Same spot, easy take for Fernandez. Going to load the bases up with Lions. Here he's giving up a base hit, and he's going to face the right-handed hitting Andy Castillo. There's one for a strike. Deck Brandon Lorenzo. And there's another one in the same spot, but he didn't call that one. 1-1. Top of the second, bases loaded. And there's a hard hit ball at third base, and that one gets by Kelly. One's going to score. Here comes La Rosa with number 2. And make it a deuce for the Lions here in the top of the second. And it's going to bring up the last batter, number 2. So if I go back to the roulette table, I'm going to play number 2. Good piece of hitting from Castillo. On a 2-2 count, he hit one down the line on third base just past the Kelly. Rolled down the line and gave him enough time to score La Rosa and Arieta, and we have a 2-0 game. Top of the second inning. And the Lions aren't done yet. Fernandez on second base. The pinch runner on first base, the courtesy runner for the catcher, is Ralphie Gabin. 1-1 swung on. Boy, Lorenzo wanted to hit a 3-run homer there. Rafi Govin on first base. Brian Fernandez on second base. The batter's Brandon Lorenzo, 2-0 game. And there's a snapback throw, not in time. The count goes 2-1 to the shortstop. 1 out, top of the second. Andy Castillo with 2 RBIs. On deck is the leadoff batter, Iker Noguera. Now a big swing and a miss there to even the count. And I'll tell you, if these Lion batters can just, chop down on that swing a little bit, not take such a big hack at things, they might be able to score more runs. 2-2 the count. The right-handed hitting shortstop, the left-handed pitcher is Adrian Ramos. And that one's grounded to second base. Picks it up and goes to Hiron. Now there's 2 outs. The runners advance, and it's going to bring up the leadoff batter, Iker Noguera. So with 2 outs in a 2-0 game, Noguera a couple weeks ago had 2 walk-offs in the same week. And in my opinion, he's a lot better hitter from the left side, but today he's forced to hit from the right side because the pitcher, Adrian Ramos, is a lefty. And the Lions scored 2 already in the top of the second. They're looking for more. Runners on second and third. Ramos comes set. Gets a sign from Guzman. Takes a little peek at second. Rides that one in there high. Fastball for ball 1. A base hit will get the visiting Lions 2 more. Ground ball will get the Wolves back in the dugout. What's it going to be? There's the ground ball, but it's to the right side. Lee's going to gobble it up and throw to first. The Lions are going to get 2. They're going to leave 2. We're going to go to the bottom of the second inning with your score 2-0 from Henderson, Nevada. And you're watching FSPN, everybody. Don't change that channel. This is a good one. Welcome back, everybody, to Henderson, Nevada. If these half innings on the home side sound a bit rushed, is because we're getting no cooperation from the DJs, and it's the same thing in Nevada than it is in Florida. And I'm going to try to do the best I can. The batter is Dallin Sagaski. He's the right fielder. He'll be followed by Dylan Lee. He takes the first pitch for a ball. The third batter this inning will be Ace Sapp, and if everybody gets on, it's the catcher, Darren Guzman. And quickly, there's a ground ball to Quevedo. He scoops it up, and he fires across to Arrieta for the first out of the inning. The bottom of the second inning in Henderson, Nevada. The Basic Wolves are taking on the visiting team, the Matter Lions, in a 2-0 game. Alfred Rosario's on the mound. The batter is Dylan Lee. He takes a strike. He's the DH. He's a sophomore. He'll be followed by the left fielder, Ace Sapp. 2-0 ball game. That one's in the dirt. And if I sound a little bit rushed, guys, if I come to your school, DJs, give me a little bit of room, especially on the at-bats and on the last out of the inning, so I can properly set up the game. Just makes for a better production all around. And then the next day when I'm gone, you guys can have all the scratching and the mixing. You can have Ultra out here if you want. But just give me a little room, guys. Baseball has become a DJ fest. 2-0 ball game. Bottom of the second. Beautiful Henderson, Nevada. 3-1 to count to the DH in a 2-0 game. 1 out. That didn't miss by much. Runner on first for the Wolves. All right, your batter is Ace Sapp. He's the 8th batter. He's a sophomore from the right side. He's going to face Alfred Rosario, also a right-handed pitcher, and he's coming from the stretch with a runner on first base, and the first pitch is taken for a strike. With 1 out, Lee's on first base. He got there by a walk, and the Wolves are trying to get something going here in their bottom of the second. Nice off-speed pitch. Sapp swung right through that one. Evens the count at 1-1. I mean 2-0, 0-2, pardon me. Rosario with 1 strikeout, looking for his second here. And that one's popped way up to the right side. Arrieta initially calls it, and he's going to catch it behind his back. Made it look a little harder than what it was. The 9th batter steps into the box for the home Wolves. It's Darren Guzman. He'll face Rosario. Takes the first one for a ball. A little bit outside. Leadoff batter for the Wolves, Matthew Kelly's on deck. 2-0 ball game, bottom of the second inning from Henderson, Nevada. Rosario takes a deep breath, throws that one over, and a big chopper up the middle for Lorenzo. He's going to have to hurry, and that one just took a funky bounce. All right, welcome back to Henderson, Nevada, where we have a 2-0 game with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. And the home team, the Basic Academy Wolves, are threatening. They're trying to get to the strikeout king. And in the box right now is Matthew Kelly, good-looking right-hander, wearing number 23. He plays third base for these Wolves. He's a junior. Quickly, 1 ball, no strikes. Base hit will get him a run. Rosario takes a look at Lee on second base. Now he comes to the plate, a little low and inside. Boy, he wanted to call that one. Count goes 2-0. Rosario's, he's looking okay. He's not as sharp as he usually is. He's issued 3 walks. No hits, 1 strikeout. There's a foul ball to make the count 2-1 to Kelly. Tate Southensey, Senny. Oh, I'll get it right, folks. Big strike. I'm just going to call him Tate. Good piece of hitting by Matthew Kelly. Drove one into 5-6 hole. Scored Lee. Guzman's on second base. Kelly's on first base. The shortstop, Tate Southensey. There, I think I said it right. There's a big ground ball over the third base. Yolekis is going to get it. Step on the bag. The Wolves are going to get 1. They're going to leave 2. We're going to head to the top of the third inning with your score 2-1 from Henderson, Nevada. And you're watching FSPN. I told you this would be a good game. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to the top of the third inning from Henderson, Nevada. We have a 2-1 ball game between the Basic Academy Wolves and the visiting team, the Matter Academy Lions. Jonathan Esponda steps in for the Lions. And it's hot, folks. Hace calor. One of my cameras overheated, and there's the one that's hit foul. A lot of foul room here at Wolf Field. Battery is Guzman behind the plate. Ramos on the mound. Another off-speed pitch, and that one's looped into right field. Here comes Dallin. He's got enough room. Boy, that one floated out further than I thought. And it's all at 325. A nice, large ballpark here. 360 to left center. 380 to right center alley. Not big enough to hold Quevedo if he gets a hold of one. Ramos' first pitch is low. 1 out, top of the third, 2-1 game. There's a good look at the pitcher. Another off-speed pitch, just misses at the knees. The Lions got 2 in the top of the second. The Wolves answered back with 1 in their bottom half of the second. And here we are in the top of the third in a 2-1 game, and that one's hit high and deep to right center field. No, not deep enough. Dillon's going to get it for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the hitting specialist here, the first baseman, the Iowa Southwest commit, Brian Arrieta. Second in the county in RBIs with 19. Swing and a miss at a Ramos off-speed pitch. Boy, he's got good control of that changeup. He's not afraid to throw it in any count. Quickly gets ahead 0-1. Arrieta takes low for a ball. Two fly balls, quick 2 outs. Top of the third for Ramos. Lefty on lefty. The pitcher, DH Alfred Rosario's on deck. That one short hops Guzman. Here's the 2-1 from Ramos, and that one's over for a strike to even the count at 2-2. Arrieta with a nice base hit his last time up, slap one into left field. And that one's off the wrist, puts it over by the Wolves dugout. And we'll do the 2-2 over again with 2 out in the top of the third inning in a 2-1 game from Henderson, Nevada. You're watching FSPN. The 2-2, a little bit high out of the strike zone, but with 2 strikes, he's got to protect the plate, and he did just that. That one's taken low to fill up the count, 3-2 to the senior. Nobody on, 2 out, 2-1 game. Here's a payoff pitch. A strike will get the Wolves in the dugout. And there it is, looking. Strike 3 called, nothing across the board for the visiting Lions. We're going to head to the bottom of the third, 2-1, and you're watching FSPN, everybody.
You're watching the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Welcome back to the bottom of the third inning, the hurry-up half of the game, where I have to say things really quick because the DJs stop the music when both feet are already in the batter's box. So the first pitch to this batter, it's the third batter for the Wolves. It's Andrew Giles. He'll be followed by Lyndon Lee, and then it's Gabe Hiron. All of them are going to face the right-hander, Alfred Rosario, in a 2-1 game. It's the bottom of the third inning. We're in Henderson, Nevada. And I could have said all this before he got in the box. Now I got to tell you it's 2-0. And it's a great game at a beautiful spot. That one goes way inside. Count goes 3-0. 3 walks already. He's looking at his 4th here. Gets that one. Wow, that one was not a strike. So there's a ball. All right, Giles steps into the plate. Andrew Giles, he's a senior center fielder. He's going to face Rosario with a runner on first base, and he's first pitch swinging, and he missed. It's 2-1 ball game, bottom of the third inning in beautiful Henderson, Nevada. We're bringing to you high school baseball. Y para mi gente en Hialeah, está bien caliente la cosa aquí. No hay la humedad que hay en Miami, pero hace un calor de 3 pares. Estamos ganando 2-1. En la parte de abajo del tercer inning, en la tercera entrada. Y el bateador es Lyndon Lee, el cuarto bate, la segunda base para los Lobos de Basic Academy. El lanzador para los Lions se llama Alfred Rosario. Él es un senior. Te pichea con la mano derecha. El bateador a la mano derecha. Y cuando te digo hay calor, caballero. Se me recalentaron una de las cámaras. Y un roletazo de foul. Con un hombre en base, 2-1 a favor de los visitantes, que son los Matter Academy Lions. Estamos en la parte de abajo del tercer inning y estás viendo FSPN. Acuérdense de hacer suscrito al canal aquí de YouTube para nosotros poder seguir trayendo este contenido. Y tengo unas ganas ya de volver a Miami a comerme unas croqueticas de pollo allá en la carreta y un cortadito, porque aquí no hay nada de eso. The 1-2, and it's grounded to Quevedo at third base. He's going to have one play at second, and that's about it. So there's going to be 1 out here in the bottom of the third. All right, welcome back to the bottom of the third inning from Henderson, Nevada. Basic Wolf Field, 2-1 ball game in favor of the visiting Lions of Matter Academy. In the box for the Wolves is the first baseman, Gabe Hiron. He takes the first pitch for a ball. Lyndon Lee is on first base. He grounded into a fielder's choice. Andrew Giles was the leadoff batter, and he was walked. He got cut down at second, and that's where we are now, a 2-1 ball game. Hiron takes that slider on the outside corner for a strike to even the count. Here's a full, and that's a ball 4. Your batter is Dallin Segavsky. He's a right fielder. He's a sophomore for the Wolves. And he'll be facing Alfred Rosario with the runners on first and second base, 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. And that one's, I guess, outside for a ball. And there's some action in the bullpen, and here he comes, and it's the fast walk. This is the, I'm going to talk to you for a second walk, and we're going to come right back. Remember to call Florida State Tentless Termite Treatments. Get on their treatment program and avoid putting that tent on your house. It's almost termite season, folks. Please give them a call at 305-669-9292 or visit their website at www.woodtermite.com. We're going to keep it right here because this is just the talking to. When he comes out jogging, that means he's going to talk to the pitcher. When he walks out there slow, he's going to change the pitcher. And right on cue, there he is, a quick talking to Tito Rodriguez. And you guys know his brother, Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge, Texas Rangers, Hall of Fame, Ivan Rodriguez. And Ivan watches the game from time to time. So, Ivan, if you're watching from Puerto Rico, ¿cómo está, mi hermano? Aquí hace falta una línea tuya, que tú vengas para acá y meta línea con esta gente. Right now it's 2-1, bottom of the third inning. The right fielder smokes one into center field. It's going to bounce in front of Jaroza. La Rosa's good, strong throw home are going to hold the runners. The bases are going to be loaded for the Wolves. Welcome back to the bottom of the third inning. We have bases loaded. The corners were in for the Lions. The bases are loaded for the Wolves. And believe it or not, that was only the second hit given up by the starter, Alfred Rosario. And that one, great stop by Castillo, possibly saved the run there. There is action in the Lion bullpen. Rosario's up to 60 pitches, and that's quite a bit for the bottom of the third inning. So the leash is very short on Rosario. Dylan Lee's in the box, and another spectacular, I don't know if that was like a gymnastic move back there by Castillo, but that hurt me. He did like a split to grab the ball. Back-to-back good stops. That's something you watch in the Olympics. It's like a floor exercise or something. 2-0 the count now to Lee. Ace Sapp is on deck. And there's a nice fastball in there for a strike. It's going to be one out, bases loaded, bottom of the third in a 2-1 game. Here's the payoff pitch, and that one's lifted high to the infield. Noguera is calling. He's going out to shallow center. He makes the catch for a huge second out. Rosario earned himself another batter, and that batter is the eighth batter, Ace Sapp. He's the left fielder. He flied to first base the last time up. And that one's fly to third base. Lorenzo's going behind Quevedo. He calls him off for the third out. Boy, and they dodge a big bullet. The Wolves are going to leave three. They get none. We're going to head to the top of the fourth where you're scored 2-1. You're watching FSPN, and you're getting your termite treatment done by Florida State Termite Tentless Treatment. Thanks for watching, everybody. Welcome back to the top of the fourth inning. We have a good one between the home team, the Basic Academy Wolves, and the visitors, the Mater Academy Lions, that are led by their head coach, Humberto Bencomo. At the helm for the Wolves is Gino Di Maria, and we have a good one, a 2-1 ball game in favor of the visiting Lions. Both starting pitchers are still in there, and there's a pitcher for the Lions. Hits one in the left field, a leadoff base hit off of the lefty, Adrian Ramos. It's going to bring up Heldy La Rosa with nobody out. Henderson, Nevada. Estamos en Las Vegas, todo el mundo. Y hace un calor, ya se me recalentó una cámara. Aquí no hay croqueta, no hay tamales y no hay velita. Así que aquí hay que ganar por 10. La Rosa ahora al bate. Rosario está en primera base. El pitcher se llama Adrián Ramos. La primera base para los Wolves se llama Gabriel Girón. So aquí hay muchos latinos también. We're in the top of the fourth inning in a 2-1 ball game. 3 hits for the Lions, 2 for the Wolves. And the leadoff runner is on here in the top of the fourth inning. Your batter's the center fielder, Heldy La Rosa. And Heldy's built like a fullback, boy. He looks like somebody you want to give the ball to in that short yardage. You want to gain a yard. There's a nice off-speed pitch. I tell you, Ramos has good control over that, and it looks like a cutter. It might be a changeup. Either case, it's effective. Here's the 2-1. The runner goes, going to be short hopped in there. It's going to get away from the second baseman, but not far enough. Rosario, the starting pitcher, goes in there kind of hard. He takes his time getting up. And I think he's going to be all right. He's a tough guy. Count's going to be 3-1 to the center fielder. And the big lefty's on deck. And we've seen him launch some. And it's time for him to get going here. I'm talking about Brian Fernandez, big 1-7. But right now it's La Rosa against Ramos with a runner on second and nobody out. There's the off-speed pitch, and the second time Hootie walks. And it's going to bring up the big lefty, and it's going to bring out a conversation from the pitching coach. We're going to remind you guys to call Florida State Tentless Termite Treatments. And if you mention this ad, you're going to get 10% off. We'll be right back because I believe there's somebody warming up for the Wolves. You're watching FSPN. Remember to subscribe, everybody. After a brief visit to the mound by pitching coach Kyle DiMartino, he's going to leave the starter in there, the crafty lefty Adrian Ramos, the sophomore, who's been almost perfect today. Has a couple of hits that he's given up, a couple runs. But let me tell you, for a sophomore, he's looking like a senior out there now with the infield half in. His first pitch to the big lefty Fernandez is taken for a strike. So Kelly at third base is breaking hard to the plate. Hidong's doing the same over at first base. So the runners are going to get a good jump. Rosario's on second base. La Rosa's on first base. Uncle Muggs can use some water. It is hot out here, and it's a dry hot, folks. He squares the bunt and takes that one. And now the runner's going to go, and he's going to not be in time. No, he's going to be safe. That's a big IQ play right there by Rosario, and he just beat Kelly's tag. Runners in the corners, boy, and that took a lot of head right there just to get over there. And now Rosario's officially the dirtiest guy in Nevada. Base hit here will get him a run. A pop fly will get him a run. Swing and a miss won't get him a run. Nobody out. Runners in the corners for the visiting Lions. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the right fielder, the junior. Lefty on lefty. Fernandez calls time, and it's granted to him. He steps back in the box. Let's see if La Rosa goes from first base. He stays put, and a swing and a miss by Fernandez, and he goes down on strike. Top of the 4th inning in beautiful Henderson, Nevada. And there's a throw over to first. Castillo looking to add to this 2-1 lead for the visiting Lions. La Rosa being held on by Hidong at first base, and there he goes. No throw. Now with 2 runners in scoring position, the Lions have a legit chance to score here in the top of the 4th inning. Their catcher's up. Andy Castillo, always a tough out. Ramos now up to 67 pitches. That one's inside. One out, top of the 4th. Uncle Muggs from, and I've been told it gets hotter than this out here in Henderson, Nevada. And that one's fouled out. That one's in off the wrist. 1-1 the count to Castillo. And he's had to do the bulk of the catching the last 4 or 5 games due to a little bit of an injury to Amador. Jacob's been a little hurt. He's only been able to hit. So Rosario's on second, La Rosa's on third, or the other way around. He squares the bunt and he takes that one. So Rosario's on third, La Rosa's on second, Castillo's at the bat, Ramos is on the mound, Guzman is behind the plate, and I'm Uncle Muggs. Now that we've all been properly introduced, the count goes 3-1 to the Lions catcher. Kelly's creeping in on third base, so is Hidong. The off-speed pitch is fouled out at the plate. These are the nail-biter counts, the 3-2 counts, the full counts. The Wolves infield is all in. They're trying to cut down a runner at home plate. And that one's low, an easy take. Bases are going to be loaded for the shortstop, Brandon Lorenzo. And Lorenzo had a double late in the game. All right, and I think that's going to be it for Adrian Ramos. Head coach, pitching coach Kyle DiMarino. All right, welcome back to the top of the fourth inning in a 2-1 game where the bases are loaded for the visiting Lions, and we have a new arm on the mound for the home team, the Basic Academy Wolves, and it's Esteban Gonzalez. He's a sophomore. Quickly, 1 ball, no strikes to the last batter, the ninth batter for the Lions, Brandon Lorenzo, and that's a strike to even the count. Gonzalez, a right-hander. The corners are in. Both Hidong and Lee are in on the grass for the Wolves. Trying to chop down a run at home plate, maybe turn 2. There's a hard ground ball, but foul from a really hot Nevada. The 1-2 is taken for strike 3, and a big strikeout there for Gonzalez. He comes in and does his job. That's what you want to see from a relief pitcher. Come in and strike out the first batter you face with bases loaded. And now he's going to face the leadoff batter, Iker Noguera. The courtesy runner for Castillo on first base, it's Rafael. One and one the count to Noguera. And that's an easy take, and that one gets away from everybody. And I think it got a piece of Noguera. In any case, it's going to be 3-1 in favor of the visiting team, the Lions. And it's going to bring up the red-hot Jonathan Espanda with the breast cancer awareness batting gloves, the hot pink batting gloves. He's going to have a word with head coach Bencomo. We're going to talk to you about Florida State tentless termite treatments. And if you mention this ad, that you heard it here on FSPN, you're going to get an extra 10% off, and you're going to avoid the hassle of having to evacuate your home or even go to your mother-in-law's house for a few days. And you can avoid all that just by calling 305-669-9292. Tell them you heard it here on FSPN. I mean, who wants to go to their mother-in-law's house for a couple days? I mean, I'd rather deal with the chemicals and all that stuff. Just kidding. We love all the mother-in-laws out there, especially mine. Mine's the best. All right, we have a great ball game, 3-1 in favor of the home team. The relief pitcher is Esteban Gonzalez. He came in for Adrian Ramos, who I believe pitched an excellent game. A sophomore, bright future for these Wolves. They have a couple young arms. The sophomore on the mound now is Esteban Gonzalez, and he's facing Jonathan Espanda. And Espanda hits one in the 5-6 hole. That's going to be run number 4 and possibly number 5. Here comes Rafi Govin. We're going to have a play at the plate, but Kelly knocks it down. And it's going to be 5-1 in favor of the Mater Academy Lions. 2 outs in a 5-1 ball game. Jodelki Quevedo's up. 5-1 game. Runners on first and second base. Top of the fourth inning, 2 outs. And Gonzalez wants nothing to do with the 6'2.5", 225-pound, looks like a linebacker, this guy. Hate to run into him in a dark alley. Gonzalez takes a look at Goving, and that one's hit like bounced straight up in the air. Boy, it looked like it hit a piece of rubber. It hits everybody. A fair ball comes off of Gonzalez, off of Guzman. It looked like they were playing hacky sack with it. It's going to be bases loaded for the Lions. Nobody remembers hacky sack. A game we used to play at the beach. It's going to bring up Brian Arrieta, the Iowa Southwest commit, from the left side to face the right-handed pitching Esteban Gonzalez in a 5-1 game, top of the fourth inning with 2 outs, and the Lions aren't done yet. They put up 3 on the board. That one slapped foul, and that one goes halfway to the Grand Canyon. And I apologize for the one-camera broadcast today. We've had a trouble overheating cameras here in the scorching heat, and it's only March. You can imagine in July. My lips are already chapped. It's only the fourth inning. We got 2 more games, folks, 2.5 more games. I may need a pinch broadcaster. Might have to go to the bench. We don't even have a bench. Gonzalez's pitch is up and away. The count goes to 1-2 on the left-handed hitting first baseman. 5-1 game, top of the fourth. Base is full of Lions. Another one slapped foul. You got 9 Wolves in the field, but this looks like a National Geographic episode. A couple of weeks ago, we saw Brian Arrieta go bye at FIU Stadium against Cohia in a crazy game, an 11-10 game. The pitch from Gonzalez, another one slapped to the left side. And the Wolves should just leave one of the JV guys out there. Just give him a chair, an umbrella, and leave him out there. Gonzalez and Guzman finally come to an agreement. No, they don't. They have to call timeout. I'm not sure if they're using the pitch comm or just the fingers, the good old fingers. That off-speed pitch gets away from him. The count goes to 2-2. 2 outs, top of the fourth, 5-1 game. The Lions scored 2 in the top of the second, 3 in this top of the fourth. When that one might have been a little bit out of the strike zone. And we're running out of baseballs. We might have to make a run to Dick's Sporting Goods or something. Arrieta hanging tough against Gonzalez. And there he swung at that one out of the strike zone. The Lions are going to leave 3. They're going to get 3. We're going to head to the bottom of the fourth with your score 5-1 from Henderson, Nevada. And you're watching FSPN. No cambien ese canal que se pone cosa, la cosa es buena, se pone ahora buena. Welcome back to the bottom of the fourth inning in Henderson, Nevada. We have a good one for you between Basic Academy. The Wolves are the home team. The visiting teams are the Matter Academy Lions, and we have a new pitcher for the Lions. It's the sophomore sensation, the right-hander Gabo Gandillo, and he gets started with a hard-hit ground ball to third base. That's gobbled up by Quevedo and thrown out to first base for an out. All right, DJs, you guys are killing me, man. This DJ here waits till the ball's in the air until he turns off the music. So the first batter grounded out. His name was Darren Guzman. He's the catcher. First pitch swinging, didn't get a chance to introduce him at all. And now second pitch swinging is Kelly, and he hits a slow hit ground ball to the shortstop. And the speedy Kelly's going to make it to first base. And here comes the music. All right, Tate Southenstein, I got it right, steps into the box with a runner on first base. And there's one out. And I haven't been able to really tell you anything about this inning because the DJ doesn't let me talk. So Darren Guzman led it off. He was the ninth batter for the Wolves. He grounded to third base on the first pitch. I wasn't able to introduce him because the DJ was playing the music. The second batter, Matthew Kelly, hit a slow hit ground ball to the right side of the mound that was gobbled up by Brandon Lorenzo and didn't get in time to first base to get the speedy Kelly, who's standing on first base now with one out in the bottom of the fourth inning from Henderson, Nevada. Now your batter is Tate Southenstein, and he's got a 2-0 count. And he hits a ground ball over to the right side. Noguera's going to get there quickly, not in time to Arrieta. But and now there's the pitch, and that's it's hit to the, and a nice diving effort by the second baseman. There may be a play at the plate, not in time. A good throw from La Rosa. It's going to get the home team another run. All right, folks, now the batter for the Wolves is Lyndon Lee. He got walked his first time up, then he got on base by a fielder's choice. And there's a weakly hit fly ball to center field. La Rosa's going to come in on it. The runner's going to tag. Strong throw to home plate, not in time. Another run for the home team. Two outs. Here's the 1-2 swung on, and a big strikeout for Gabo. The Wolves leave one. They're going to get two. The score is going to be 5-3, and we're going to head to the top of the fifth inning from Henderson, Nevada. You're watching FSPN, everybody. Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to the quiet side of the inning. The top of the fifth. The Lions that are leading 5-3 are going to send up the starting pitcher, who is now just a DH, Alfred Rosario. He had a sacrifice his first time up, then a base hit and scored a run in the fourth. And here he is in the fifth to face Esteban Gonzalez, the sophomore right-hander for the Wolves. First pitch is a nice slider that looked like a ball. That was a good pitch from Gonzalez. I can tell you the battery is still Darren Guzman behind the plate. And Esteban Gonzalez on the mound for the Wolves. He likes to go from the stretch. And that one got over for a strike to even the count at 1-1 to Rosario. And again, we apologize for only the one camera. A couple of them overheated. Swing and a miss, a little late on that fastball. Head coach Humberto Bencomo asking Rosario to choke up, shorten his swing a little bit. Something Uncle Muggs has been saying for the last 3 innings, but these Lions just want to swing away with 2 strikes. And that causes a strikeout for Rosario, and it's going to bring up Howdy La Rosa. Big swing and a miss by Fernandez with a runner on. One out in the top of the fifth inning in a 5-3 game against the Basic Academy Wolves. Throw over to first, not in time. I think. And there's a foul ball. Nice to see some contact off the bat of Fernandez, who leads the universe in strikeouts. And that ball's thrown. Nobody was there, but La Rosa makes it into second base without a problem standing up. So Fernandez with a base hit here in a 2-2 count. Another strikeout here, and he'll be threatening the single-season record. I think it's 160. I love you, Brian, but you got to hit the ball, kid. I'll take a walk. Runner on second base in a 5-3 game, 1 out, top of the 5th inning in favor of the visiting Mater Academy Lions. And there's one hit high and deep in the right center field. And you can Ozzy Osbourne that one, because Mama, I'm coming home. And that's a home run for Brian Fernandez. And he gives his Lions a 7-3 lead here in the top of the 5th inning. And you're watching FSPN. Fernandez breaks out of his 0 for 178 slump, and he finally puts one into the atmosphere. Boy, and it was about damn time. The batter is Castillo, the catcher for the Mater Academy Lions. And he swings at one and pops one way up high. The shallow center field, the shortstop calls for it, and that's the second out of the inning. And it's going to bring up Brandon Lorenzo. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Lorenzo, the shortstop, the Florida commit. We're in Henderson, Nevada. And that one's hit high, a base hit to left field. For Brandon Lorenzo, it's going to bring up the leadoff batter, Iker Noguera. Noguera takes a ball high on the outside. Noguera coming in from the left side with a runner on first base, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning in a 7-3 game from Henderson, Nevada. Ball 2 to Noguera, taken up high. Here's the pitch and a hard ground ball to shortstop. He boots it, and both runners are going to be safe. Lions on first and second for the red-hot Jonathan Esponda. And he takes the first pitch for a strike. Esponda drills one up the middle for a base hit. Here comes a runner. And score another one for the visiting Lions of Mater Academy. That'll bring up the third baseman, Quevedo, for the Mater Academy Lions that are up 8-3. Quevedo hits a hard hit into right center field, and that's going to bring in Noguera. There's going to be a play at the plate, and they're not going to catch the speedy Noguera. The Lions are up 9-3, and it's going to bring up the first baseman, Brian Arrieta. And that's going to bring a mound visit from the Wolves pitching coach, and we're going to take a quick break here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning with the visiting Mater Academy Lions up 9-3, and you're watching FSPN. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the bottom of the 5th inning from Henderson, Nevada, where the score is 9-3 in favor of the visiting Mater Academy Lions. And the new arm on the mound is Gabriel Grandillo. He's a sophomore right-hander, hard thrower for these Lions, and he's taking the role as the stopper/closer. And he could use a ground ball here with the leadoff batter. There's a hard hit ground ball to Quevedo. He backhands it, an excellent play, throws across the diamond for the first out to Arrieta. There's a good look at the sophomore, Gabo Grandillo, and he's facing Dylan Lee. Lee slaps one in the left field for a clean base hit. And that's going to bring up Ace Sapp, the left fielder for the home Wolves. And he's going to face the right-hander with a runner on first base and 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is 9-3 in favor of the Mater Academy Lions. 2-2 the count to Lee with a runner on first base. And there's a hard hit ground ball to Lorenzo at shortstop. He bobbles it. He only has one play, and he goes to first base for the out. The runner will advance to second base. And that's going to bring up Darren Guzman, the catcher for the home Wolves. 2-2 the count to the catcher, Darren Guzman. And he's 0 for 2. He was on base by an error and hit a ground ball, and he's facing Gabo Grandillo with the runner on second base. Guzman hits one up the middle, past the diving Lorenzo, and here comes Dylan Lee, and he'll score the fourth run for the home Wolves to make the score 9-4 in the bottom of the fifth inning with one out. The leadoff batter, Matthew Kelly, the third baseman, he's the University of Miami commit. He's a junior. He'll be down in Miami in a couple of years, and he's facing Gabo Grandillo with a runner on first base. Kelly already with 2 hits on the day. Slaps one in the 5-6 hole past the diving Lorenzo, and that's going to be the third hit for Kelly. Grandillo gets his sign from Castillo, and he really needs a strikeout here. 3-2 count to the second batter, the shortstop, Tate Southensensi. And there's a croqueta. Strike 3, that's going to end the inning. We're going to head to the top of the sixth inning, and your score is 9-4 in favor of the visiting team, the Mater Academy Lions, and you're watching FSPN. Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to the top of the sixth inning. We're in Henderson, Nevada with the Mater Academy Lions. You're watching FSPN, and the batter's Alfred Rosario. He'll be followed by Heudi La Rosa, and then it'll be Brian Fernandez. And if anybody gets on, it's the catcher, Andy Castillo. Quickly 2-0 to Rosario, who has a sacrifice, a base hit, and a strikeout today. And he's been busy on the bases, and he's facing Mendoza in the top of the sixth inning. And boy, the Lions could use a leadoff runner here. Quickly 3-0 to Rosario. Heudi La Rosa's on deck, and he's been walked already 3 times. He scored a couple runs. Rosario works the count full on Mendoza. Mendoza kicks and he deals, and that one's taken high and away, so a leadoff walk for Rosario, and that's going to bring up Heudi La Rosa, who's walked already 3 times. And he scored 3 runs. So hopefully he'll keep that going. Rosario at first base with good speed. Guzman behind the plate. La Rosa's the batter, and there goes Rosario. A good throw from Guzman, and it's in time to get him. So the Wolves cut down the lead runner at second base by a good throw from Guzman. The count goes full to Heudi La Rosa, and he draws a walk. So a 1-out walk to La Rosa, and it's going to bring up Brian Fernandez that already has a home run to his name. The big lefty. 1-1 the count to Fernandez with La Rosa on first base. That one's in the dirt and gets away from Guzman. There goes La Rosa. A good throw from the catcher, and Guzman got La Rosa at second base. That's back-to-back good throws from the catcher. And the pitch was a strike to Fernandez. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Fernandez, and that's an easy take. It hits the backstop, and Fernandez draws a 2-out walk. And I'll tell you, if Rosario and La Rosa would have just stayed on first base, the Lions would have the bases loaded with no outs for the catcher, Andy Castillo, that steps in from the right side to face Mendoza. Castillo steps back into the box with a 3-2 count. He had a base hit in the first inning and an RBI. He flew out to the shortstop. And that's a called strike 3. We're going to head to the bottom of the sixth inning with your score 9-4 in favor of the visiting Lions. All right, welcome back, high school baseball fans, to the bottom of the 6th inning. And we're at Gary Charles Field, home of the Basic Wolves, Basic Academy. And they're down 9-4 to the visiting team, the Matter Academy Lions. On the mound for the Lions is the sophomore stopper. And hits Gabo Grandillo, Gabriel, double G. And I think he's facing the shortstop. It's hard for me to tell with the music. Swing and a miss. Yeah, Giles is up to bat now. He's the center fielder with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Gabo has been very, very, very effective in all of his outings. He's done everything that head coach Bencomo has asked him to do, and there's a swing and a foul ball at the plate. And there's a ground ball hit to the right side. Noguera's going to come up on it, fire over to Arrieta for the first out of the inning. Starts him off with a ball that looked like a strike to Lyndon Lee, the second baseman. He walked his first time up. He got on by a fielder's choice, and he had a sacrifice, and this is his 4th at-bat today. And there's a ground ball hit to the shortstop, and he just woofs that one. Boy, that was not what you want to see from your shortstop. Gabe Hidon steps into the box, and he's ready to swing the bat. Takes the first pitch from Gabriel Grandillo for a strike on the inside corner. Brandon Lorenzo made his second error of the game. The last one cost the Lions a run. Let's hope Gabo can get a double play here. Second pitch is taken inside. And that's 2 of them today, and he better clean that up. Gabo's pitch is in the... After a brief mound visit from Tito Rodriguez, he's going to leave Gabo in there to face the right-handed hitting right fielder Sagapski. Dallin swings at the first pitch, and he has runners on first and second base. And the Wolves are threatening once again in the bottom half of the 6th. There is some action in the Lions bullpen, and it looks like Adrian Pena. Another excellent stop by Castillo behind the plate. The righty Pena has assumed the role of the closer for these Lions, and it looks like he's going to do just that. If Gabo can get out of this inning, it'll be all up to Pena to get 3 outs, but Gabo's got to get out of this inning first. There's 1 out. There's a good strike called out in center field. Your double play combination is Lorenzo and Noguera, even though Lorenzo's playing in the hole. And he's hitting right at him. There's 1, and there's 2. That's a double play. The Wolves are going to leave 1. They're going to get none. We're going to head to the top of the 7th, and the score is 9-4 in favor of the Lions. Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to Henderson, Nevada, where the Matter Academy Lions are the visiting team today, and they're taking on the Basic Academy Wolves that are led by their head coach, Gino De Maria, and the head coach for the Lions is Humberto Bencomo. And we have a 9-4 ball game. It's the top of the 7th inning. Brandon Lorenzo steps in. He's the Florida commit. He's going to face Mendoza, the right-handed batter. The right-handed pitcher, Darren Guzman is behind the plate. The new first baseman over there is Noah Sebastian. He's filling in for the starter, Gabe Hidon. Kelly's still at third base. South Assine is the shortstop, and Lyndon Lee is the second baseman. And quickly, 1 ball and 1 strike to Lorenzo, who started off a double play in the last half inning to end it. And there's a fastball up high. Good take there by Lorenzo. The shadows have started to creep across home plate and have consumed most of the batting area. Lorenzo can't believe that one. 2-2 the count. A few more minutes, and it's going to be really hard. It'll be difficult for these batters to pick up the ball coming out of the sun and into the shadows. And there's a drive that's hit high and deep to right field. And I don't have any. Oh, thank God he caught it. What a catch out there. Giles comes up with a beautiful, spectacular catch. And I'm glad that one didn't leave the yard because I didn't have a musical reference ready. So good catch, Giles, and thanks for saving me. Good to see Brandon Lorenzo hitting the ball, though. Iker Noguera from the left side, the switch hitting senior second baseman. He's been on base twice. He was walked. Actually, 3 times. He was walked, got hit by a pitch, and he had a base hit, scored 2 runs. And on deck is the red-hot Jonathan Esponda. Another multiple hit game for Esponda. He's bringing an 8-game hitting streak into Nevada. And hopefully he'll leave with an 11-game hitting streak. There's that floppy curveball again by Mendoza. One out, top of the 7th. There's a strike called, makes it count 2-1 to Iker Noguera. And Aker's wearing that yellow, bright yellow shin guard to guard against foul balls down on the ankle shin area. He squares the bunt. He lays one. No, he pops one up. All right, not a bad idea, just not a good execution. Noguera usually handles the bat well. These Wolves from Basic Academy are going to face Westminster Christian on Thursday, and we're familiar with the Warriors. And they have a scrappy team. Emil always has a good team. He puts together a good quality lineup. He has good pitching, good defense, solid all around, good coaching. And then on Friday, they'll play Liberty again. Full count now to Noguera. Mendoza takes his time. He finally kicks and deals, and there's that slidey late breaker cutter kind of that he likes to throw over the outside corner. Bencomo shouting in some instructions to his second baseman. And there's a curveball that's hit over the mound. In comes lead. Try to get him, and wow, what a play. Another excellent play on the defensive side on the Wolves. Giles in center field turned in a gem. This one time it was Lyndon Lee that had to come in a long way from second base. And in one motion, he threw over to the new first baseman, Noah. And there's 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning, Esponda steps in. And here's another hard hit ball right to the shortstop. Obi picks it up, and what a throw. 3 up, 3 down for the Lions. Nothing across the board. They're 3 outs away from a dub. Let's see what the Wolves have to say about it. It's 9-4 heading to the bottom of the 7th, and you're watching FSP. Welcome to the bottom of the 7th inning from Gary Charles Field in Henderson, Nevada. And you're watching high school baseball between the Basic Academy Wolves and the Matter Academy Lions that are up 9-4, and they just need 3 outs. And head coach Bencomo has tasked the sophomore Gabriel Grandillo to get 3 outs. And he has to face the 7th, 8th, and 9th batter for the Wolves in Dylan Lee, Ace Sapp, and Darren Guzman. And already it's 1-1, the count to Dylan Lee, the DH, who's walked once, fly to second base, and has a base hit and scored a run. There's a good look at everybody. Swing and a miss. Boy, that one looked like he hit it out of the catcher's glove. But here's a good look at the shadows that I was talking about. They're all up the right field line, and the first base line is consumed, and so is the batter, and now only the pitcher is in the sunlight. And I'm sure that's very difficult for the batter to pick up the ball coming out of the sunlight and into the shadows. And let's see how Lee deals with this. And then Dylan Lee. And that one's hit well. An excellent play over there, boy. He's been turning in gems today. Quevedo's turned in several really good defensive play. None better than that one off the bat of Lee. And it's always important to get the first out of the inning, but none bigger than that one right there in the bottom of the seventh. And the Lions are only 2 outs away. And there's another ground ball, and that one not even Spider-Man can get. That one went over the head of Quevedo and rolls all the way. And there goes, I believe it's a Sapp. Maybe it's a pinch hitter on that list where he was once the leader. There's a nice pitch and a pop up to center field. La Rosa's battling the sun. He's battling the Nevada sun, and he makes the second out. Well, this DJ really, I've never seen anybody take the music so long. I mean, both feet in the batter's box. I can't even say anything good about the future Hurricane because he swung at the first pitch, and I want to thank everybody, Humberto Bencomo, everybody, Gino Di Maria, the athletic administrator, Paul Berg, and the principal, Tati Handawi. I hope I said that right. And I want to thank people on the Lions side, Humberto. I want to thank Coach Brito, Coach Tito, Butch, the athletic director, and Alex Tamargo, the principal, and everybody here in Henderson, Nevada, who's been awesome with us so far. And tomorrow we're going to be at the Meadows School. It's a little bit north of where we are now. Hopefully we'll bring you a good game there. It's not over here, though. It's 9-5. Runner on second base. And there's a smash, and that could be another run for the Wolves. They're going to send them home. It's going to be cut off. The score is going to be 9-6, and it's not over yet, folks. There's a hard smash, and it finds a hole. Boy, it's not over yet. Fernandez scoops it up and brings it in, but the Wolves are not going away that easy. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's gotten interesting here. The new arm on the mound is Adrian Pena, and he's facing the first pitch, swinging there. And La Rosa's going to come home with it. That ball's going to get over everybody. No, don't throw to third. Bastion and the shadows have creeped across the infield, and here I thought the hitters were going to have problems seeing the ball. They peeled off 4 straight hits. This win, lose, or draw, he deserves it. And he probably needs one of those cold plunges and a massage to go along with that, too. Another great play. Not easy to come in and start throwing strikes, but that's what head coach Bencomo has tasked Adrian Pena to do. Come out here and just get one out, and it's not easy. He's got his neck turned around by Lyden Lee, and now it's Noah Sebastian. And he hits that one a ton. You're getting a bill. Wow. Oh, my God, Elizabeth. There's a call that would have sent Fred Sanford to his grave. And you can Google Fred Sanford, too. Oh, Elizabeth. Of course. Wow. In the box now for the Wolves with the bases loaded, it's Dallin Sagafsky. And I'm never praising the umpires again, because that was a terrible call. We're going to look at it again and again on the video. And, oh, man. I've been praising him all day. I'm never doing it again. Made the worst call of his life in the worst time of his life. And, of course, there's a makeup. There's the makeup. Thank you, Blue. There's a makeup call. See? We're all good. We're all even now. 1-1. Fans have been awesome here at Gary Charles Field. I've had a great time. Beautiful facility, tremendous field. It's well taken care of. Great team, great sportsmanship on both sides. And it's been a great game. 9-7. The home team has out-hit the Lions 12-8. Adrian Pena, boy, I'd hate to be in Pena's suit. Now it's 9-8. He's going to get a talking to. Henderson, Nevada. Check swing to D. Lee. Dylan Lee. The go-ahead, the tying run is on third base, a 9-8 game. Go-ahead run is on second base in the likes of Noah Sebastian. 2 consecutive walks and 4 hits in this inning for the Wolves. We were 1 out away. We were 1 good call from the umpire away, and we're 9-8. And there's a ground ball to Lorenzo. All he's got to do is step on the base and give everybody a freaking heart attack. All right, thanks for a great game, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. You've been watching FSPN, and thanks for knocking 5 years off of my life. I would have lived to be 95. Now I'm going to live to be 90 because of these guys. Thanks for watching, everybody.